themselves, and we can wrongfully assume that they're that kind of guy just off the bat, you know?
Because I would think if we went up to any person in a bar, they would not be like, ew, gross. Be like, oh, okay, I'm flattered. Like, she thinks I'm hot. Let me humor her. I've never had a bad experience saying to someone, oh, I find you attractive, or like, can I have your number? Ever. No. That's insane. Whereas guys have horror stories for days. Like, this girl laughed at me. Oh, like she, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fuck, you really going through it.
Oh, man.
R.I.P.
They do. I mean, they do have to face a lot of...
That's a good point. That's not really something we've ever talked about.
And guys aren't in the... It's not normal for men's relationships to be like, hey, you look really great today.
Yeah.
or like, hey, like, great job on that thing. Like, they're not like going around complimenting each other. Whereas women, it's like, oh my God. You just get gassed up all the time. If you have friends.
It is a man's problem, though. Like, that sounds like a man's problem.
That's not something you should be
amongst your community. Need to start gassing each other up. Because, like women aren't relying on
really
men.
That sure looks really good on you today, dude.
Yeah. Dude, like, you killed that.
That's a great fit, dude.
Yeah, because women go above and beyond for other women. We're not relying on men to like make us feel valued all the time. It's women who are kind of like, oh my God, you're amazing, you're intelligent, you're valued. So men need to step it up and feel better about yourselves and your community.
Yeah.
Go tell a friend you love
them. I don't think men just are in that headspace where they even think they need that.
Yeah.
Like I made my boyfriend do a moon ritual with me, a new moon ritual with me for the first time. And I made him like, I know, right? I was like, here's what you do. We're going to like write positive affirmations about what we want. Nice. And you're just going to like write these affirmations. And like, he was super confused. He was like, what?
I don't get it.
He like did not get it. But I was just like, just write like I gave example. I was like, just write, I am successful or like, I am creative. Like just write like, I am statements. And he finally got it. And he like literally wrote like 3 pages of shit. And I was like, you were just waiting for this to pour out of you. You just didn't know. And he literally just like, and he was super into it.
That's
and I was
so
like,
cute.
That's great. Like he just needed that.
They need
push.
permission.
Yeah. They need to know that it exists.
That's okay.
And then
because
like,
it's not,
and then not get ridiculed for it because a lot of women will ridicule and be like, oh wow, this guy's like, you know,
I mean, internalized misogyny as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, that's the thing of like, we need to change our culture to make it okay for men to talk about their feelings and talk about all this stuff that are like lady issues.
It's 2-pronged though, because we have the awareness to do that for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, you find your flaw and then you fix it.
Yeah.
And so if we're responsible for making sure that all men acknowledge that they're great and flawed, it's like, I don't have enough time in the day. And this is why I like dating guys with female friends, because you would have had that activity done in some point of your friendship. You know what I mean? I'm super sus on people who don't have friends of other genders.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's weird.
To me.
Yeah.
That's a
and it's
flag.
like they're not privy to like any of women's experiences if you don't have women friends.
Right. Totally.
I once dated a guy who thought periods lasted 2 weeks. And I was like,
no.
Generally? And he was like, yeah, I'm just like bleeding. Like, aren't you? I was like, yeah, but like, I don't even like that. He's like, how many liters come out of you? I'm like, milliliters? Like, milliliters come out. He's like, yeah, I just think like an open wound like that. I'm like, open wound?
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's like when they asked Sally Ride how many tampons she needed to go in the space, in the whatever. In the... What is the word?
Rocket. It's like a rocket ship.
Rocket ship? I don't know about this.
In the space, whatever.
Shuttle.
They were like, how many tampons do you need? 100 for a week?
No.
Yeah. NASA.
Oh,
they were like,
oh my God.
They were like, how many do you need? Like, is 100 enough?
Holy
it's
shit.
It's just not fair. Like, why are women socialized to know so much about experiences that they don't live?
Yeah.
And everybody else is like, I know what I go through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I saw Erin Gibson tweeted yesterday, like, womansplaining is when a woman has to tell you her experience of something that you never thought of or never thought to wonder about.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's womansplaining for sure. Yeah. And it's like, sometimes I don't mind. Like, sometimes I like going out of my way to like inform and be like, hey, just so you know, like, this is something that you probably never thought about. I'm about to tell you. But like, when it's expected of you constantly, it takes the fun out of getting to do it.
It's like, hey,
when you want to.
Tell me about that time that you got sexually assaulted again.
Yeah.
Again!
I was like, again?
Let's talk about my rape for the 4th time this month.
And this is why rape is a legitimate issue.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, when I got raped, it's like you're constantly on a loop whenever the subject comes up.
So hectic. I just remember when the Me Too movement was like thriving and trending, and all over Facebook, people would be like, oh, you know, like I was sexually assaulted by this promoter or this person.
Yeah.
And people in the comments would be like, well, what did he actually do to you? Like, I really need to know so I can feel safe or unsafe. And it's like, babe, she just said she was sexually assaulted. It doesn't matter the specifics. You know, like, oh, like he just touched you. Like, oh, okay. I guess I shouldn't be that scared of him. Or like, oh, like you didn't actually fuck. So...
When they do ask those questions, it is low-key them looking out for themselves. Like,
it's
have I done that? Yeah. A lot of them probably think that too. Like, wait a minute. Like,
which is insane.
There's a lot of fear.
When you really think about it. Like, oh, it's so hard to date now. You can't even like say nice things to chicks anymore because they think you're going to rape them. And it's like, oh.
It's always been wrong. Now we're just talking about it.
Right.
That's the only difference.
Exactly.
Like, that's the only difference.
Yeah. We're less afraid to speak up about it.
Oh, I love, which is insane though, because I remember like years ago, I was like, why do I need to talk about anything? Like there are tons of people who are smarter or more educated, have like a greater lived experience, but it's like, it's that mentality that it's so cooked. I was like reading this article on Psychology Today about how echo chambers form.
Oh, yeah.
And how they sort of like propel at a rapid rate. And they were saying that generally like 85% of people are just like sheeple who are happy to be told like what to do and how to do it and when to do it. And so when they see news being shared, they're like, oh, I should share it too because that's how you gain traction. That's how you spread the message. And then 5 people are like the doers, like politicians, activists who create or spark change in people. And then the 10% left over who acknowledge that the sheeple do everything to their detriment and the active people do everything for their own benefit, but who'll believe the 5% or 10% that see it happening, you know? And I'm like, fuck, that's really crazy. And so, like, let's say Twitter, for example, they say statistically it's not good or bad information that gets retweeted at a rapid rate. It's polarizing information. Yeah. Something doesn't make sense. You know, you're kind of like, what is this? Yeah. It's crazy.
Anything on social media, the things that get shared and shared and shared are things that make you angry or are controversial in some way.
Yeah.
So
totally.
That's just how social media works.
Like, absolutely.
I mean, and so many people want it to be that way for monetary gain or like for their own benefit of like.
I mean, that's how you get clicks. And
they want clicks. Absolutely. They want traffic.
And that's how you get money is through clicks and page views. So.
And just hyper mass confusion as well. Because I know people like want to get to the bottom of what's confusing them, but not that hard. So if a headline confuses them, they'll retweet being like, what's this about? Like,
oh my God.
They won't even read the article.
Many retweets I'll see of people so furious about a headline.
And then if
you
read the article and you're like, oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah. Right. Constantly.
And it's so intentional, which is what pisses me off. Where it's like, you knew this would happen. That's why you did this.
Absolutely. Oh wait, did you see what I posted on my story the other day about that consent condom?
Yes.
Okay, did you see this?
Explain it.
I did.
It's actually like, I can't stop thinking about it because I think it's now fundamentally just dumb. Yeah. So essentially there's this thing, I think it's made by an Argentinian company. Essentially it's a condom packet that requires 4 hands to open it. So 2 people consenting to sex are going to put their hands on the edge of this condom box and unlock it with the power of their 4 fingers.
2 people or 1 person can't open it.
1 person can't open it. You need 2 sets of hands. Yeah. 4 hands. 2 sets. Yeah. So you look at it going, okay, like that's crafty, like cool, like that's us like really consenting to this activity. Yeah. It's cute. But then you start to dig deep and you're kind of like, okay, a man definitely developed this because number one, like if somebody like, if people can't even commit to unwrapping a condom wrapper generally, like just like a quick, simple Trojan, why do you think they're going to do this activity of like Connect 4 Twister to put 2 sets of hands on this condom, right? And then you're like, well, fuck, not everyone also has 2 hands. So then like we just like rule out all those people.
Right.
And then you're like, wait, what do you mean? This doesn't make any sense. Like, is this a real thing or is this like campaigning for clicks? Because a lot of that performative activism or performative social marketing,
it's
that's
very
like,
performative.
we care about consent. So like, this is what we discovered. And it's like, in real life, is this a thing that someone would actually do?
Right.
No, I mean, I can see the value in it as like an art project, or like an art piece, or like starting a conversation about it. But very impractical. Yes.
So that's not an actual product that people should buy.
And it feels like a distraction tool, so people can retweet that and be like, oh my God, great, I love change, this is progressive. People can be like, I would definitely use this, is fantastic. It's like, but would you? Like,
right, realistically, would you?
And then somebody showed me this vagina lipstick. So
essentially, I've read about that before. It's so ridiculous.
Reeling. So essentially, this man made this company called Menzies. Which is just, I can't even deal. So essentially, it's like an environmental response to how wasteful tampons and pads can be. So essentially, when you have your period, you grab this vagina lipstick and you temporarily glue your labia shut, so the blood stays up you or in you. And then when you pee, it weakens the adhesive and then you sort of pee out all like the blood and the clots and then you glue yourself back together.
Okay, honestly, I I get pissed sometimes because that's the sort of thing that I am open to, okay? Open to it.
Can you imagine though? Like,
if there's a way to make it work,
UTIs, like what adhesive is going to be that close to?
It can't be a straight up adhesive. It has to be like
not an adhesive, but what is it that's going to glue your lips shut? Like, you need to aerate.
Yeah.
Like, just wrap.
I mean, I can see,
I can
but like
get behind it.
It's bizarre.
But I would be too afraid of it failing.
Right.
Like, I would be too afraid of like, I don't know.
And then if
it's not working,
you just sit down weird.
You sit down and it's like,
And if your urine weakens the adhesive, then won't like sweat or moisture weaken the adhesive? And like, isn't it like, are we thinking? And then somebody responded to that story and said, very triggering for people who have female genital mutilation. And I was like, fuck. Didn't even think of that because they sew your labia shut or cut it off. And this is too much. The internet just, I feel like my blood pressure's going up. I'm like, this shit, like, it's all too much.
I mean, it's that kind of stuff though, where like it'll be an article like that, and it just seems like the response has to automatically be that this is stupid, the way that it's written, or it's like, oh, I guess I have to agree that this is bad. But it's like, wait a minute, I don't mind thinking about it. I don't think it's inherently bad.
But I don't think it's good either. Like gluing a labia shut.
Okay, yes, that.
Like, if you can imagine, like, just take a moment. How are we going to do that? Are you sitting in the toilet? Are you applying glue and then squeezing your labia shut? Are you letting it air dry? Like, what is, how is this functionally happening?
It's flawed, definitely.
It's flawed, but it's a real company.
But I hate tampons.
Do you use a menstrual cup?
I can't use a menstrual cup. I've tried in the past.
Damn.
It feels very uncomfortable for me.
Really?
It doesn't feel like... Maybe I think something to do with maybe my uterus or something. Or something is just like not right there where I can never not feel it. I always feel it.
Interesting.
And tampons too. Like I can deal with tampons.
Yeah, I love
you
it.
You use a menstrual cup, right?
I can't feel anything when it's in. I was like,
I love it.
Really? And I just hate the idea of having to dump it out and clean it and like. I like the idea of just throwing something away.
But you're gonna glue your lips shut.
Well, that's why I'm a little curious. If there is a way that this could be done that's like safe and realistic and actually effective.
Well, because it
I'm open to it.
I do kind of see how someone would think that it could work, because
and I have a very light period because I'm on birth control, so it's not like a heavy flow.
Yeah.
So for me, I could see something like that working.
Should we
just
contact
saying.
Menzies?
I'm gonna hit him up.
You should
just trial it.
Try it.
I'll be in the trial or
My
whatever.
lips are currently shut. What if you have a weak bladder and you're constantly like, what if you've got incontinence?
Well, then it's not for you.
I mean, there's a lot of products out there that it's just like, let them exist, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. You know,
Hectic.
I don't know.
Yeah, I want to see you try it. And
You
then,
gotta try the menses.
I would try it.
and then
Do you promise?
If it comes out and is tested and people are like, this didn't give me a UTI or whatever, then I'll try it. Yeah.
Okay.